In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 5-time NBA champ, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and 18-time NBA All-Star, Mr. Kobe Bryant. You see, 2020 was a difficult year for all of us, and it started out in the worst way possible. We lost a guy that inspired many to believing in themselves and achieving their goals through sport. So without further ado, we're going to be honoring Kobe by sharing with you guys the 3 major lessons that we can take from his journey into our own life to help us achieving success. Let's get right into it. Kobe's a man that left us with so many lessons to learn from. You see, in order to be a great, you need to go through it all. The highs, the lows, and everything in between. Which leads me to lesson number 1. Don't fear failure.
I'm not one that really believes in failure. I believe you have setbacks. And you have to learn from those. You have to learn what are those landmines that can be avoided the next time. What are those pitfalls? You have to learn from that stuff.
You see, in Kobe's journey, he never saw failures for what they were. He only saw them as setbacks. And this switch in mentality can really help you shape an overall positive attitude towards your goals. Because if you see everything as a setback, that means all you gotta do is take a step back, see what you gotta work towards, see what you gotta improve, and start improving. You see, he stresses time and time again that in order to achieve greatness, you need to focus on each step of the process. Focus on one thing at a time. For him, it was focusing on one skill set at a time that would make him better at playing basketball. But it was only one skill set at a time. It wasn't everything all at once, because when we do that, we tend to overwhelm ourselves. And that might also lead us into losing motivation to what we're trying to achieve. So when you keep dedicated towards becoming professional at each skill set, in a year to 2 years time, you're gonna be a professional at what you're trying to achieve, which is exactly what happened with Kobe. So be patient with the process. Find the beauty in the journey. Don't be afraid to fail. See it as a setback in order for you to perfect each skill set that you need in order to be a great at what you're trying to achieve. You see, in Kobe's journey, he was a legend on and off the court. He went from being the best in basketball to retiring and shortly after winning an Oscar, something that actors take years to try and even get a nomination for. And it wasn't until he achieved this one lesson that he tries to teach people that really helped him achieve all his goals in his life. And that was the importance of committing fully to what you're trying to do in your life.
So this is going back 15 years, right? So I don't just retire right there basketball and luck into winning an Oscar, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That stuff comes from hard work and from studying for 15 years how to write and how to organize structure, right? And you can't do that without having a serious love or commitment to the craft.
You see, before he decided to retire, every single time that he had plane rides from one state to the other, he was reading books, and people didn't understand what he was trying to do, but he did. He knew that what he was trying to achieve was trying to learn everything that he could about storytelling. And this was something that took some time for him to work on, and he made sacrifices. So when it comes to our life, I want to ask you, are you fully committed to what you're trying to achieve? I can't sit here and say that I'm perfect. I know for a fact that there's days where I wake up and maybe I'll be on my phone for a couple hours, or maybe I'll decide to play video games for a couple hours, and that takes away time from what I'm trying to achieve. Whether that's growing this YouTube channel, becoming a better day trader, focusing on these little skill sets that I want to build in order to achieve these great goals that I have. I know that I'm not fully committed at times. So the cool thing about doing these type of videos is that I'm not only sharing with you guys these types of lessons, but I'm also reflecting on my own life, seeing what I can improve on. And I know that I can start committing more to my goals. I can start committing more to what I'm trying to achieve. Now let's get into the third and most important rule that we can learn from Kobe's journey. And that's the importance of being a long-term thinker.
I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important. Because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought, right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. All right, after that, all right, creating your own shot. And you focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better. And then the next summer I came back, I was a little better. And the summer came back, next summer I was a little better. I scored.
Yeah,
it wasn't much,
right,
but I scored.
And this is 12, 13.
12, 13. And then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old. And then I was just killing everyone.
This is a lesson that helped Kobe achieve the greatness that he achieved throughout his lifetime. You see, for Kobe, at 12 years old and 14 years old, he was a complete different person. At 12 years old, he was a guy that scored 0 points all summer, and then turned 14 years old and overtook the league. This is something that can help us in our own journeys to inspire us to be dedicated towards what we're trying to achieve. Don't look for the short-term success. Think of the macro. Think of where you're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. You'll probably have the opportunity to come back to this video, as I probably will in the future, rewatching myself right now and what I'm trying to achieve with YouTube, and seeing my process and my progress in 2 years time, 3 years time, 4 years time. Seeing what I've been able to develop in skills, develop in communicating, because obviously talking to a camera is still not very normal. This is very awkward, to be honest with you guys. I can treat it like a friend, but at the end of the day, it's literally just a lens staring at me. So, this is part of the journey. This is part of learning. This is part of enjoying the process. It's amazing the amount of progress that you'll make when you try and focus more on the long-term thinking rather than the short-term. Because the short-term can bring a lot of disappointments. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, to be a great, you gotta go through it all. The ups, the downs, and everything in between. But if you're not a long-term thinker, every single time you get hit with a down is an opportunity for you to quit. So focus on the process. Stay consistent. Don't fear failure. Be committed 100% to what you're trying to achieve, and you'll achieve it. So I do hope that you guys learned something from Kobe's journey. I hope that every single Wednesday you learn something new from all the success stories that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I enjoy doing these for you guys, and I hope that you are watching and learning as well. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to slap that like button, and if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on Saturday for a brand new upload. Peace.